Good evening and welcome to the July 17, 2012 Planning Commission meeting. Roll call, please.
Chair Mishra,
Here.
Vice Chair Biasuti,
Here.
Commissioner Samet,
Here.
Commissioner Marshall, Commissioner Peterson,
Here.
Commissioner Chase,
Here.
Commissioner Johnson.
Thanks. Commissioner Peterson's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Agenda item number 1, approval of the minutes, June 19th. Do I have a...
I'll make a motion we accept the minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? The minutes have been approved. Communications?
Okay. As you know, Aaron's last day as Community Development Director was last Friday, and I have been appointed to fill in for Aaron temporarily until a permanent transition plan is developed and finalized. Just wanted to make that announcement. My name is Mark Sullivan. Most of you know me, so I would also like to carry on Aaron's tradition of announcing or informing people at home that the Planning Commission e-packets are available online at www.sanbruno.ca.gov. Information on the rebuilding of the Crestmore neighborhood is available at www.rebuildingcrestmore.org, and the draft transit corridors plan is available at www.planbruno.org.
Thanks, Mark, and congratulations. Announcement of conflict of interest? Seeing none? Oh.
I would like to just make an announcement there. I would like to announce that there are conflicts of interest of 2 commissioners for the one item on the agenda tonight related to the use permit for the farmers market at the shops at Tanforan. Both Commissioners Marshall and Johnson are members of the Chamber of Commerce, which is the applicant, and they decided it would not be appropriate for them to participate in this decision.
Great, thank you. Item number 5, public hearings. 5A is located at 1150 El Camino. Oh, sorry. Did we open public comment?
Nope.
No, that was it.
Oh. We'll open up public comment if there are any members of the public who would like to speak. Seeing none, public comment is now closed. We'll move on to agenda item number 5A, which is at 1150 El Camino Real. It's a request for a conditional use permit to allow the farmers market per section 1296-190C of the San Bruno Municipal Code. Staff report, please.
Thank you and good evening. As you know, this agenda item was continued from the previous Planning Commission meeting in June, but for the benefit of the public, I'll just briefly review a couple of things about the project. The Chamber of Commerce, in conjunction with Pacific Coast Farmers Markets, has applied to operate a weekly farmers market in the parking lot at the shops at Tanforan. The hours are from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. every Sunday through mid-November. The market has been operating since May with a temporary use permit, and so this application is to continue it for the remainder of the season. So at the June Planning Commission meeting, the manager of Tanforan expressed some concerns regarding 2 conditions of approval that had been added by the City Council. Since that time, staff has been in contact with mall representatives to address these issues. So I would like to point out for the Planning Commission as well as for the public that staff has distributed revised conditions of approval here this evening to the Commission and to the public. So please do refer to those during the staff report. At the June meeting, again, when this item was continued, staff included a condition requiring a new crosswalk located just north of the main entrance to connect the parking lot to the sidewalk in front of Barnes & Noble. So while we can all agree that it would be nice to have an enhanced pedestrian connection at that location, it would require additional study to ensure that the crosswalk would be effective and implementable at that location. Therefore, staff has revised condition number 32 to remove the crosswalk. Instead, we now recommend that the applicant or owner, working together with planning staff, actually meet with our engineering staff and collaboratively see if we could consider any pedestrian enhancements specifically during market hours. So not a permanent pedestrian improvement, but something specifically during the market. The second issue that was raised by the property owner was a permanent directional sign pointing drivers to the Target and JC's Penney parking structures. The Shops at Tanforan has agreed to install this sign, and so staff has not made any changes to condition of approval number 33. I would also like to point out a couple of small changes to other conditions. Condition number 19, related to fire extinguishers, has been revised to address the concerns raised by the Pacific Coast Farmers Market, and that change has been approved by the fire marshal. Small changes were also made to the wording of conditions 17, 18, and 30 to improve clarity. And then the final changes to some wording, just to again improve a little bit of clarity, were made this evening after the staff report was published and reflected in the handout that you have here tonight. So with those changes to the conditions, staff does believe that the issues raised at the previous meeting have been resolved, and we recommend approval of the application subject to conditions of approval 1 through 34, and I would be happy to answer any questions.
Thanks, Laura. Does the commission have any questions for staff? Seeing none? Thank you. Is the applicant present? Could you take the podium, state your name, and tell us about your project?
Robert Rico, and I'm on the board of the chamber and overseeing our farmers market program.
One second. Are there any questions for the applicant?
Through the chair.
Commissioner?
You've read and understand the conditions as...
Yes. I read the earlier ones. I have read the ones handed out tonight, and
you're
I
in
have no
agreement.
problems.
You're in agreement with those conditions.
I feel the chamber can live up to all the agreement.
Thank you.
And I will work to help the chamber live up to all the agreements.
Thank you.
Thank you. You may take your seat. Is the mall representative present? Could you take the podium? I just wanted to give you an opportunity to state that you have had the opportunity to review this, and
I have had the opportunity to review this, and Laura has been most generous with her time in assisting me in making some recommended changes, and I see that they're here. So I want to thank everybody for their assistance.
great, thank you. We'll bring it back to the commission for discussion. Motion? Oh, sorry. Public comment. We'll open up public comment. If any members of the public would like to speak on this agenda item, you take the podium.
Good to see you again. I'm Alan Moy with the Pacific Coast Farmers Market Association. Just want to thank you and planning staff for taking our concerns into consideration. We too have reviewed the changes, and we are very pleased with them and looking forward to continuing to work with the city and the chamber to make the market a success.
Great, thank you. Seeing no other public comment, the public comment session is now closed. We'll bring it to the commission for motion.
Through the chair. I'll make a motion that we approve use permit 12-006 based on findings of fact 1 through 3, subject to conditions of approval 1 through 34.
Yes. Do you have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there a question? Motion? Not? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstention? The motion passes. There's a 10-day appeal period. Great. Moving on to agenda item number 6, city staff discussion.
Okay, first, I'd like to ask for volunteers for the next Architectural Review Committee meeting. So we have, okay, so we have Commissioner Biasuti, Chase, and,
I'll be back up. Maybe you can ask.
okay.
Great. And then you update.
Yeah, there's one thing. There was an issue that was brought up about signs in front of Mike's Auto Sales, and basically saying that cars parked in front of the fence blocking the view of the autos would be towed. And Matthew Neubaumer, associate planner, went out there and spoke to them, and the signs were removed. So that's a positive result.
Way to muscle up there, Matt.
Yeah. There you go. And that's all for now.
Great. Planning Commission discussion? I have a question for our attorney. In my AB 1234 training session, there was a slide that said that something to the extent of during public comment, the name and location was not required. Is that true?
That is correct. The state law, and particularly the state constitution, guarantees the right for individuals and citizens to make anonymous speech. So the city does request, as a courtesy to either the Planning Commission or the City Council or other appointed bodies, that individuals identify themselves and indicate what their address is or where they live, primarily for informational purposes. Also, sometimes individuals request that they be sent materials, and so it's helpful for us to know that. But in general, that is true, that individuals who speak cannot be required to give either their name or address.
Okay, thank you. I'll change my verbiage on that request in the future. Are there any other Planning Commission discussion items? Seeing none, we're adjourned till August 21st. Thank you.